It's a right side.
Hello, and welcome to some more Testulous gaming. When I say Testulous game, oh nice. I think the snow's on the tac map a little bit here. Yeah, cool.
I think the snow
Anyways,
also proves that there's a right side up to the maps.
It's the left side.
it's up and to the left slightly. All right, we're doing 3K 4v4s on the testing branch. We're here a couple days before the patch goes live, so this is presumably going to be the state of the game for quite some time. And presumably, if you're watching this, this is the state of the game already. This isn't going to be out for several weeks. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP, Snowblind, Subtle Hubris, Xenophon and Hecker on Team 1, Dramus, Puppy from Hell, Kamiya, and Meganon on Team 2. This is as basic as it gets. We're on pillars. 3,000 points per player, 4 players per team. There's snow on the map. We talked about that a little bit. You can see it here in the TAC map. Looks like ANS is looking for the usual lower side alpha control. They might be going for an echo push as well. The OSP is concentrated on the same side of the map. This is going to be another very bloody match, just like the last game. All right.
The question is, does ANS have beams?
Oh, that is always the question now, isn't it? I don't think there are any beams going lower. Xenophon's the main lower player, and Xenophon doesn't really play beams. Tends to play fast, light ships. Puppy's on OSP.
Oh, Puppy's on. Oh.
Yeah. I'm specifically talking about the fleet that went lower on ANS side. Drop down here with the OSP with Dramus in a stock standard Ocello, Auroras, Sarissas, 450s. A little bit of anti-jam capability as well. Oh yeah. That's that good shit. Also has a monitor with containers on it. Rocket containers on it, no less. Nice.
These are the starter fleets.
Oh yeah! These are the starter fleets!
They actually went with those starter
So,
fleets.
something that we're doing this game, there have been some starter fleet updates, so hopefully the starter fleets are in much better shape than they were previously during the OSP release time for both teams, ANS and OSP. And if I had them memorized, I'd just list the starter fleets here and go through them, but I haven't memorized all the new starter fleets yet.
I have actually. Okay, so the first one, currently brought by Kamiya, is the new OSP starter fleet, Cobalt, which has 3 monitors, C90s and T30s, one single battle group in one single formation. Second group is Duramis's is Annihilation. Yeah, that is Task Force Wolfenite, which has been updated with container rocket backpacks. Mechanon is bringing the new Task Force Garnet. It lost its LRT, but it has the EWR right now. It's also been a bit standardized with C90s and stuff. Puppy from Hell is bringing.
Slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit.
Sorry. Yeah, Mechanot's bringing Garnet, the new Garnet.
All right, now Puppy.
Puppy, I think he's bringing Azurite. I need to see. Yeah, Rosal. Yeah, Puppy's bringing the new Azurite, which has been converted into just 450 Bulker with Ocello 450, and I believe an LRT jamming tug.
The enemy secured zone. Just LRT. Just LRT.
Mm-hmm.
And a few aliens.
Yeah. ANS. Now, what do we have for ANS here? Also, this is your friendly neighborhood. This is your friendly neighborhood friend, by the way. Hekra is bringing. That's Ash. Yes. Yep, that is Ash.
Subtle Hubris brought the new Birch.
Well, we need to explain what these are a little bit first. Hold on. So Ash here has beams and a whole lot of missiles. TLS-3s and VLS-2 missiles. It's got a wide variety. Look at all that. Look at all the missiles.
High Score explained to me ages back that the torpedoes are for finishing and the size 2s are for like sort of mid-range. It's in the name, hail. You throw it at people.
Oh yeah, these are...
We got a skirmish going on around E, rocket containers being launched towards the ANS fleet down bottom.
Not much is going to happen with that. This Axford should be able to handle the rocket container pretty effectively. So let's go through Snowblind's fleet.
Snowblind is currently bringing what I believe is the new Sycamore. Yeah. I
Oh,
believe that's-
this is
hits.
the one with all the different missiles.
Yeah, Sycamore is the one with the missiles. So the one right now you have moused over Corbo. Corbo, the one you moused over with Xenophon's one is the new Willow with a beam axe, which now has a beam axe sword. Yes. And a rail destroyer.
Oh man, alright. This has been kind of slow. Subtle Hubris also has triple voxel build. What is this fleet?
You
It's
talk
a new
about-
Birch.
Yeah, the
New
new
Birch. Okay, this thing's gonna be a fucking menace. By the way,
Yeah,
because
it's
this
a
is a meta
lot better.
build.
Kind of.
This is a meta build.
It is it's quite meta build.
Okay, so we're gonna be seeing a lot of Birch next patch out of new players and old players. There's a big fight, as we've already discussed, happening between the Echo Delta line on the lower side of the map. Xenophon going to be able to move into Alpha and cap it with the Beam Axford and Double Frigate Escort, although one of the frigates is dying. It's got a Balls Device, Interruption, no Masquerade, Hang Up, couple Jammers, very dangerous.
I do want to note for a minute that I've gotten shit for not making Birch even more meta with aux steerings in the bow. So, like, what do you want from me, people?
Well, speaking of
Yes,
Birch,
it was
several
actually,
features
yeah,
redeployed
some people
to
was
engage
actually
the-
saying make Birch even more meta.
This is already a pretty solid, like a really good build, even with sacrificing the gun mounts for blankets
Jammers.
and bullseyes. I mean, that was something we did like 6 or 7 months ago, and it was really strong, and it's still really strong because then you can still have good enough point defense to survive while having all your mounts be on the voxel, and you don't have some 500-point sprinter alongside you full of jammers that'll just die if it eats a stiff breeze. Reinforced locker. These aren't the most tanky voxels in the world, but this is an incredibly strong build.
Oh, regarding Jordan Jew's comment regarding Snowblind's fleet, yes, that is a direct fire missile fleet. Snowblind's, yeah, Sycamore, which is designed by Seek, I believe, uses SAH direct fire, I think accompanied by jamming and scout corvettes.
This frigate inside of the snow next to the pillbox rock.
Yeah, so Xenophon got zoned off of Alpha with all the monitors and the Acellas, all the 450 fire down there. And unfortunately, one of her frigates got buried in the snow. We'll have to dig that out when the thaw comes. That's going to be keeping watch
Just
over
warm
Alpha
up the
Point.
Jammers, it'll melt itself out.
With the balls and the hang-ups and the blankets.
Oh,
This Garnet is actually like pretty impressively strong as well, considering
Mm-hmm.
like all the changes to the monitor have made this fleet like we were seeing fleets exactly like this during testing, pretty much.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Kalmia's fleet is Garnet, I believe.
Yes.
That's
no,
Mechanaut's.
He's talking about
Mechanaut's
Mechanaut.
fleet.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Cobalt is Calmia's fleet. That's the new
Right,
one.
the new one. I'm never gonna remember the starters, dude. I never remembered the old starters, even though I saw them
It's
a
just
million
write
times.
it out on a paper.
I'm so bad at that sort of
You
thing.
don't have to. You don't have to. I've written it
Alright.
down already.
Snowblind is flanking out towards the Bravo side, is spotted by the EWR that Mechanaut has. God, I'm really happy that there's an EWR and a Bloodhound on the Oops All Starter Fleets team. And just in general, the EWR tools, they're not crazy, but both teams have good introduction to sensor warfare equipment on their side. Oh, man.
I feel
Yeah,
like whoever's slinging rocket containers is going to have a lot of fun with Ash real quick, because, oh, it's coming.
Oh boy.
I think these are just going to get downed.
Ash
Because-
is very PD light.
Ooh, yeah, I
actually.
see it. But Chaff's coming out, and it's looks like it's nosing up to go after just one
Vortex has
defender.
got jammed out.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, one defender's all you need for one rocket container. Bingo bango.
Chad Fender. Good for Hacker. Last game he
Yeah.
apparently memed without him seeing anything.
Oh, is that what happened? Is that why he fucking
Oh, sad.
left
was I,
in
dude.
frustration?
That's what he was.
Going down on
That's what he was saying.
No, Sarissa's coming in down on some of these S2Hs. S1's gonna kill off some Glonk as well.
Yeah, no slouch on PD.
Very nice, very nice. Another volley coming in, but I think this is same thing's gonna happen to this. This is being launched from Snowblind's team.
Oh my.
Why
Look
aren't they
at that
tracking?
go.
The missiles on the aim.
They're getting jammed out by Xenophons. They're active missiles, I believe, based on their behavior.
No,
No, they're semi-active missiles.
the missiles-
Snowblind lost his semi-active.
Oh, I thought you meant the Abrams. Yeah.
No, not the
That's
AMMs.
Yes,
probably.
Snowblind went to cover. Or got...
Let's see. It looked like the illuminated on top of the ship, and they weren't activating for some reason.
Are they too far apart? Are they past 12 kilometers?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. There looks like they might be pretty far. So
Yeah.
That distance? Oh yeah, definitely.
that's probably why Puppy was backing up to try to just create the range.
It's like the EWR tug getting chased off of Bravo. One of Snow Sprinter's going to be able to cap Bravo, and OSP mega concentrated around Echo. They need to take this fight and take it soon. Otherwise, that big concentration of forces isn't really going to do that much, even though neither team has that much cap presence. They do have a little bit. And spinning it well. A&S team has more cap presence than the USP, though, with all these little ships that Snowblind and Xenophon have. Man, how the fuck... Who made Xenophon's fleet?
Xenophon's fleet is Willow. Yes, Task Force Willow was Enderminion.
Wow.
Made it.
Yeah, so
How
Ender
did you-
updated it, but then before I submitted all the starter fleets to Mazer, I surreptitiously went in and gave the Axford an FPA because it needed one.
Yeah, well, I just mean cringing all this shit into one fleet. We've got a gun and beam Axford, one jam frig, and one.
Yeah, it's the intent of it is that everything's different, and that was why it was initially selected way back in pre-alpha because it was interesting.
Yeah, it's just a lot. Points
It is a lot.
wise, like just glancing at this fleet, I'd be like, yeah, this is probably like 3,500 points worth of stuff, but obviously it isn't.
Oh wait, you're saying like there's you're not saying like it's too much as in there's too many different weapon types. You're saying it's too much as in like there's lots of stuff.
Yeah, there's
The missile
lots of
frigate-
stuff in one fleet, and it's very impressively done.
The missile frigate is all just stock gales, so they're pretty cheap. That's probably
That
why.
helps. All right, we're gonna watch this. Yeah, so that's gonna stay in its snowy grave for a little while.
Wait, is he stuck there? Is she stuck there, or is she?
No, the snow doesn't have colliders. I
Shuttle.
was looking at shuttle on Delta that got missiled. It was flying through some snow.
Xenophon's
this
Axford is
doesn't
getting
have a
torn apart.
collision.
Now that I see an actual battle happening on this, I think I might actually add colliders to the snow. It shouldn't affect the pathing that much.
Yeah, it's a bit
It looks a little silly.
It does.
Fastest way
Snow
to
is
stopping the bullets.
fastest way to get Major to change something to annoy him.
Oh man, the conclusion absolute getting ripped apart by a 450 SLO, a 450 bulk freighter,
Orbit.
and
Wow, these torps are moving.
another 450 SLO, and then the
I
900s from the
One torpedo.
monitors.
R.I.P. Spronter.
Gale's coming after Meganauts fleet. I don't think those are gonna cut through all this though. Oh, the beams,
beams.
will.
Oh, this is basically like Ash's direct counter, like the thing Ash counters exactly right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
see you
gonna-
later.
Yeah.
Assuming it can get lands. There we go. Both beams on target. All right. Let's hold on. I gotta find my stopwatch. I gotta and steal it instead.
That is a
But it
rip.
is very much roasted and toasted.
Oh my god, those are DCXs, direct damage control. Those even had damage control complexes too. Holy crap!
Yeah, and that's gonna get just skunked by the beam. It doesn't matter. Oh,
It
and
is
the beam
soaking
going
up
straight
water,
for the
though. Look
rear.
at it.
Yeah, I don't think Can beams not break the DT on the
At
damage control?
No,
at
they just
certain
did.
ranges.
No, they
it depends
definitely
on
can.
range.
Oh, there it
They
goes.
just did.
It's entirely dependent on range.
Okay.
It's same
On the
thing
void
as
fairies.
reinforced mag and reinforced CIC, so it should be able to if it's
Gotcha,
not like
gotcha.
super max range.
Oh my god, he's firing missiles too.
Yeah, the missiles aren't going to do that much. The monitors are just alive enough to be able to
Oh,
destroy most of
no.
them. Got one
they did.
land on one of the near-dead monitors. Really needs to be more of them. There we go! Glonk, there's another land. The beam's
Yes,
struggling so hard to get lands. What's the deal with the... Oh, their information.
The Vauxhalls have also come out to play up top.
Yeah, when beam destroys their information, they don't really work. I don't know why. But even if they're on loose, they'll get really fucky wucky with the angling. They need to get taken out of formation. Which is actually something to bring up on the starter fleet. I know these shouldn't actually physically be in formation, but they should be played really close to each other. Because beam ships, linear beam weapons, won't work if they're in formation with each other. Because they'll keep overriding each other's bearing, because even on loose, ships want to keep similar bearing. Also, if they're this close together, they'll really fuck with each other's movement. Of course, I say all that, and here we go. There's one getting a land. Oh, well, no.
Yeah, it locked onto the target, which is nice.
Yeah, I've had lots of problems with that, and I've seen lots of problems with that as well. Beam destroyers just kind of don't work when they're in formation.
So is that one component of the void fairies? Interesting.
If these were out of formation, they would have ripped all this shit to shreds long ago.
Well, one of them is just kind of chilling down there.
It's working a little better now. Mechanon is slowly falling apart under the weight of these beams. Alright, what's been going on the rest of the map while we've been watching that? Puppy is flanked on the outside, headed from Echo to Delta via the withdrawal line.
And Snow's just adding more missiles onto the monitors too now.
And now that their PD has been sufficiently degraded by lots of beams, that's going to be pretty effective.
What, the torpedoes?
Bonk, all the S2s.
Snowblind just put a torpedo in the ass of that Acelo.
Yep.
Oh, nice, I didn't see that. Aha! Torp Sprinter getting behind ships. Oh man, what year is this?
Yep, that's Sycamore. That's Sycamore.
Oh, but they're struggling to get lands. There's another one. God, I'm never gonna forget the time.
Yeah, this is the weakness of Cobalt. Doesn't have much to deal with torps because I geared everything towards making it as hybrid proof as possible. Well, not really. It doesn't have AMMs, but yeah.
Another hit on the A drive.
No Pavises, which is the problem. But yeah.
It's also getting railed from the front, literally, barely blooming. I think Xenophon is starting to recover. She's been left alone for a decent amount of time.
That ship is cored out.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this ship ain't coming back.
mostly-
It doesn't have any restores too, so it's gone.
Ripper still. That's because all the alley access components are just stuck in the front.
This could fly up to Delta and bait Puppy into shooting it and then reactor bloom him. So.
Oh, huh.
You
Yeah, this
know.
Axford doesn't have any like reinforced components except for like one.
The sacrifice with Willow was that basically Ender, I think, to cram all the soft kill, as well as the bunch of different ships and the missiles. I think the sacrifice.
I don't know. Ender's always had some interesting component placement choices, but oh well.
Xenophon's really legging the Puppy with those jams.
This is one of the glassiest Axfords I've ever seen.
Now, the glassiest Axford is the one in pub games that you always hope will not be bad.
The old triple Axford build.
Do not say those words ever again.
Well,
What? Wait, someone actually seriously brings triple Axford to here.
3 cats.
Well,
I mean, 3 cats, but also never mind. Is he trolling? I don't know if he should be trolling
No,
with
that's a real build that he thinks is good. That's real.
What? What is?
3 Axfords
Oh.
with no point defense and no damage control, and just a
What is it? Just the hull, guns, and a magazine?
more or less. I mean, it's a little bit more than that. They got a couple rapids in them. They have a top and bottom 450 cannon, and
Oh, here come the shipwrecks.
Ooh, that's
think-
it for that.
I think a
That
couple
Ocello's gone.
ammo elevators as well. But yeah, it's extremely bare bones.
It's very on fire. It's toast. It's also having a reactor bloom.
It's not bad if you have someone else covering all the other things you're missing, but it's questionable.
I think the shipwrecks
Yeah.
really just.
Well, they lived up to their name, didn't they?
brave.
There's a reason.
Oh,
Herman-
sorry. This is the Cobalt. Yeah, this is Cobalt Axford. Sorry,
Yeah.
Ocello. Bare bones is in.
Coming
It's bare bones is in. It's been damaged a bunch, or is in. It's a bad design.
No,
Oh, no,
no,
we're talking about
talking about
three
something
cactus.
else.
Yeah, we're talking about
Okay.
something else.
Triple gun CH.
Okay, sorry. The conversations got mixed up. Never mind.
Yeah. No, this is not bare bones CC.
Yeah, none of these.
I was
none of
about to
these ships are.
say.
It's a decent CC.
These are all very, very good builds. I'm really happy to see these in game.
There is one starter CC that has a light sieve reactor instead of a 3300. I think that needs to be fixed.
Oh,
Which one?
I think it's this one.
is it?
Is it a rose? Is it the which one? Is
Wait,
it?
what? Did
No,
I?
I think it's the Rose. It might be the Rose Soul or Annihilation Theory.
Maybe.
It's not this one.
It's actually probably the Annihilation Theory, because I copied this Ocello from TF Wolfenite, but then people said, oh, that's a light sieve reactor, you should probably change it. And then I probably changed it for Cobalt, and then I forgot to change it for Wolfenite.
No worries. It happens.
but I mean, it's fine, because it still has the same, it still meets power threshold, so it's alright.
Some assembly required, living up to its name.
It'll just end up. It might lose power if it takes damage more often than one with the 30.
I think OSPs maybe just spread out too much.
Well, no. So
I
they
don't know,
were.
it seemed to me like they clustered too much above E, and that's kind of why they lost map control.
Yes. And then when they did finally spread out, ANS had strong enough map presence that they could punish that easily, since what spread out was a pack of monitors. And while monitors are good brawling ships, they don't really have the utility to be moving around in an unsafe environment that, like, OSP didn't really have eyes on the entire Bravo Charlie side of the map. And so they didn't know what was over
They
there.
ceded initiative to ANS by allowing them to move around the map without any fear of being attacked, because they figured out that the OSP's entire fleet was on E really quickly. So
Yep. Now, if Kalnia and Mechanaut had rotated over to Bravo together, that would have looked very different.
Well, they did sort of distract the OSP team by having Xenophon E push right off the bat. That probably focused their attention on Xenophon charging right toward them.
Well, Xenophon isn't really doing an E push. They're pushing to that rock that's by A to prevent the A cap. It's a pretty
Yeah.
standard play with
Yeah,
like
no.
a beam battleship, but any beam ship anyways that can get there.
Yeah, but it was like demonstrating. It was like demonstrating. So like, hey, I'm here, and then they got distracted probably.
Puppy's going for some spicy back caps with his
To be fair,
Ocello and Tug.
ANS also does have a more mobile fleet than OSP in this match, because
It
OSP
does,
is full of
yes.
monitors, and then ANS is cruisers, destroyers, and the destroyers also have whiplashes and their missile frigates.
Yeah, OSP actually is suffering a little bit from the too many monitors problem right now.
Yeah. That was kind of what killed their Bravo push too.
Yeah, so like Hekura was able to do this amazing like flanking maneuver and catch the monitors off guard. Probably thanks to the whiplashes allowing him to move across the map really well.
Yeah, and it's rotated all the way over to Echo from Bravo. So these double drive, yeah, Dragon
Yeah.
Whiplash assault destroyers. Oh yeah,
And then-
I love this build.
Yeah, and then the positioning of Hubris and Snowblind is pretty good. They took center, so they could apply pressure all over the map and redeploy as necessary in order to support their teammates.
Yeah.
Did Dragon make this fleet? I know he's a big
Oh, High
fan
Score
of the
made-
assault
no, it's High
destroyers.
High score made Ash.
Oh, okay.
Ironically, it was actually supposed to be, if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be one of the worst starter fleets before early access release. But then what happened was B Short got,
Well, it was never. I mean, it was selected because we thought it wasn't going to be that good, right? But then at the last minute before early access release came, they got battle short. Beams could be battle shorted, as well as a bunch of other bug fixes, which stopped them from being just complete wet noodles. And then, completely out of nowhere, Keystone, like Beamstones, became like the best ship in the game.
Whoa.
Behind Rails, of course, because Rails were still busted.
There's a universe of Neb that didn't have battle short?
No, we always had
Battle
battle
short
short,
will
just not eligible for beams.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's even
And I
weirder.
do remember adding it long before early access. It was probably in December or so.
Well, there were like 8 different attempts to buff beams to stop them from being the worst thing in the game. So one of those came in like right before early access, and it was the one that worked. I don't know which one it was.
Without battle short. True hell.
But yeah, it was pretty unexpected. And then also back then, TF Ash was, because of the A, it was sorted to the top. So it was the first thing that like a lot of people selected in like skirmish, right?
Oh, no.
So yeah.
Oh, so is that what procced the difficulty tags
Yes.
on all of them?
Yeah, it was a bit of a problem.
It also brought the sorting by easy and hard, I think, eventually. Because people still just, pulled Ash.
Yeah. Well, looks like ANS is going to win this one pretty soundly. 3-2 on cap points, even though they've lost Delta. Usually when you lose your natural, that's a big problem. Although Xenophon has managed to go on this incredible flank with this dead Axford. Gonna get this recap on
I think
Delta
she
point.
realized that she needed to unheading it.
Yep. And then
She's probably multitasking.
ANS has lost 1 sprinter, 2 sprinter, half an Axford, and about 3/4 of a Reigns. Meanwhile, OSP has lost everything except for 2 pretty healthy Ocellos. 1 monitor, 1 450 bulk freighter, and 1 ring-think little rocket shuttle, which is just parked on Echo. I mean, you need that there to prevent any back capping, but yeah, that was pretty brutal. The beams, oh my god. Beams did most of the work that game. The missiles did a lot of work as well, but beams and then just mobility and zoning with the voxels and the missiles. Beam. Ben.
OSP needed a multi-mission tug fleet.
I mean, if the Festive Snow is being updated, it's not too late to maybe add a 7th OSP starter. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Do not inflict fucking MMTs on the Blues, for the love of fuck.
Dude,
No, they're
I
not.
think it'd be
They're not for
great.
noobers.
Dude,
Well, I mean,
you say that, and yet people have asked me for that fleet, and they've used it. Like, new players have used it. They want to
Yeah.
use it like that.
But
And it is
notably,
a thing that like the OSP starters are kind of a bit monitor centric now, or heavy. Like they don't have a lot of lighter ships. Well, they never did, but yeah, I don't know.
Probably need lighter ships in them. Personally, that's just like.
But I
how
mean,
many...
even if you did add like a cap game fleet of any sort, it would be automatically marked hard, right?
Yeah,
So
well, you don't
it wouldn't
need
maybe
to-
improve that much.
You don't need to make like all of them disperse. They could just be in pairs and then have 6 of them. Like that. If someone wants to split them up, they could do.
well,
that.
something you could
Or
do.
they also don't have to be all tugs. You could stick a command cruiser and then support it with a bunch of tugs.
Yeah. So what I've been doing on the testing branch recently, and this is like my OG cat fleet build has come full circle once people started playing Disperse, is packs of sprinters, like just gunships. So you could do something similar with the OSP, have like 2 groups or maybe 3 groups of gun shuttles and then 1 anchor ship. But I mean that still is a lot of ships for a new player to be handed. And the thing about people asking for the MMT build is these are not people who have started up Nebulous Fleet Command, have gone to the server browser and said, oh, gee, I want to try out this new game. What kind of fleets they got for me? These are people who have gone through the effort of going onto the Discord. They're talking in Shipyard, or maybe they're talking in new players. Or maybe they're talking to other players directly. And so there's a little bit of a different expectation there as far as skill and effort brought to the game.
Right, but one of them, like, that shouldn't be something that holds people back from trying out fleets that are like that, though, to be honest. Like, if they look at the starter fleet setup and they're like, hey, I would like to be playing a bunch of lighter ships that are more dispersed, you know, like, that's why they're asking for that. It's not so much that they're like, oh, I mean, I'm sure part of it is the whole, oh, what are people playing? What are people saying is good? But I think like one of the people was literally a MIDI that asked for this fleet. It's like, you know, they just wanted to try it because they're like, I'm more interested in lighter ships. I don't really want to play like the heavier ships. So, you know. I'm sure part of it does have to do with players that are putting more effort into like looking into it, though, for sure.
I love how competitive the game was, even though everybody would just use Starfleets.
Well, that was a shit show. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a good match. The overcommittal to Echo did OSP in early, but
Yeah,
it's still
I think
a good game.
we should have just full committed to that push to D.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys just kind of isolated yourselves, yeah. Just kind of took them out.
That was the plan, but it didn't really work out.
What changed?
We saw the Beam Axford, and then we saw Ash, and I was trying to get around them cautiously, and then we kind of split up.
Yeah, we didn't see Ash move over to B.
I called it out way too late. I was like, I can't see Ash anymore. I think they went all the way under. Oh, I'm getting beamed.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we have seen today is why I do not play beam ships.
Peace to famine.
I mean, you did okay. You just ran into literally every single OSP.
Yeah. But I like as soon as I saw that, I should have just fallen back as opposed to trying to push up to the rock.
Okay.
But, well,
Who the hell made torpedoes with 2.5 kilometer range? Like, what is this? The torpedoes on Ash.
High score.
Yeah.
Pretty silly.
I think he designed them as finisher weapons.
The original torpedoes were actually only 3 kilometers before we had modular missiles.
That explains it.
3 kilometers, 120 meters. Knowing that number by heart used to be very important.
Oh yeah, because torpedo though, right?
No, it's just like because it was a stock mace, right? Missiles weren't modular yet, so all of the torpedoes were exactly that, and so you had to know that to kite them away, away from torp ships and stuff.
Yeah, and also like from people who just
To not die.
and dumped all torps because command jammer did not work back then.
Oh.
Not against torps, no.
Or is it just because you're like when they're within 3K, like there's no way to
No, they were literally just.
That antenna's very loud.
Well, that's what everyone thought, right? We just assumed, they never worked, and we're just like, oh, well, that's just because the launching chip is pretty close, right? So no one ever investigated it. And then someone decided to stack 11 interruptions and found, wait, this still isn't working. What the fuck? And we finally realized it was a bug.
It's a bug that nobody really notices.
Yep, nebulous fleet command, finding bugs.
Those throughout the lifetime of this game.
Because I mean, like even now, like you get within like 3K, or there's no way you're jamming it out unless you got like 11 interrupts.
You actually can, honestly. It's like 3 kilometers is like where you start to maybe get some hits through interrupt. If it's just a CR10.
Oh, my rule of thumb was always like 4 kilometers for command.
Yo, we
So-
bread.
Eat bread.
Alright, well, he's here. Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna have to wait. I'm gonna close up this video. I'll be right back. Oh my. Apologies. But it's sick as fuck. Man, good games. Yeah, that was all starter fleets, by the way. So they can be played at a high level. They're actually quite good now. And I think they're all going to be very new player friendly. There are some issues, perhaps, with the whole lineup, but it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. And we're gonna another match here before too long. Hopefully. Let's see. What else? I think that's it. GG. Good game. 200 player based. Very cool. God, I'm ready for this patch. Oh, I've been having so much fun. It's been very satisfying doing a lot of testing for this game. Just as a community member, I'm not an official tester, of course. I'm just a fucko that likes Testulous. And so here it is. Enjoy. I hope you've been enjoying live. Obviously by the time this is out, this update has been out for quite a while. This has been meandering too long. Goodbye, good night, go away, goodbye.